Welcome to True Life Lessons, where we explore how the people around you will ultimately decide the future of your life. Have you ever wondered why some people succeed while others stay stuck in the exact same place for their entire lives? The answer might not be about your talent or your hard work, but rather about the company you choose to keep. There is a famous philosophy stating that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Today, we will follow the incredible journey of a young man who discovered the profound truth hidden inside this simple concept. Meet Raphael, who is 26 years old and works at a local printing shop, making just enough money to survive. Every single day feels exactly the same for him as he operates heavy machinery without any clear vision for his future. He is a good person with a kind heart, but he feels trapped in a cycle of endless repetition and boredom. When the evening comes, Raphael leaves the noisy printing shop and heads straight to a familiar cafe down the street corner. This is where he meets his 5 childhood friends who have been hanging out together since they were very young boys. They are not bad people at all, but they share a common trait of having zero ambition to improve their lives. Night after night, they sit around a small wooden table, drinking cheap coffee and complaining about how unfair the world is. They blame their bosses for their low salaries and gossip about other people instead of discussing their own goals and dreams. Raphael passively listens to their endless complaints and slowly begins to accept this mediocre reality as his own unavoidable ultimate fate. He does not realize that their negative words are slowly poisoning his mind and killing any small spark of ambition inside. One rainy evening, a well-dressed stranger walks into the cafe and sits at a table right next to their group. This man is Barros, a highly successful corporate trainer who travels the country helping businesses and individuals unlock their hidden potential. Barros quietly observes the loud group of friends and quickly notices that Raphael seems different from the rest of the guys. He sees a glimmer of intelligence and curiosity in the eyes of the young man sitting silently among the complaining crowd. After the friends finally leave the cafe, Barros approaches Raphael and asks if he can sit down for a quick chat. Raphael is surprised but politely agrees to share his table with this mysterious stranger who carries an aura of absolute confidence. Barros looks directly into his eyes and delivers a powerful statement that will completely change the trajectory of his entire life. He says that having great potential without the right environment is exactly like dropping a perfect seed onto a concrete floor. The seed is perfectly alive and healthy, but it will never sprout or grow because the concrete offers absolutely no nourishment. Raphael feels a sudden chill down his spine as he realizes that the concrete floor represents his current circle of friends. Barros then points to the 5 empty chairs surrounding the wooden table and introduces a concept called the 5 chairs philosophy. He explains that the people sitting in those 5 chairs dictate the habits you form and the language you speak daily. If 4 out of 5 people constantly complain about their lives, you will inevitably learn how to complain just like them. If your closest friends are lazy and lack discipline, you will naturally adopt their lazy behaviors without even realizing the change. Your mind absorbs the energy and attitudes of those around you, making it impossible to rise above your immediate social circle. Raphael sits in silence as the heavy truth of these words sinks deep into his mind and shatters his old beliefs. He looks at the empty chairs and finally understands why he has not made any progress in the last 5 years. Barros leaves a business card on the table and tells Raphael to call him when he is ready to grow up. That night, Raphael tosses and turns in his bed, unable to sleep, as the seed analogy keeps echoing in his head. He knows he must make a difficult choice between staying comfortable with his old friends or stepping into the scary unknown. The next morning, Raphael wakes up with a renewed sense of purpose and decides it is time to change his environment. He does not want to abandon his childhood friends completely, but he knows he must dramatically reduce his time with them. Instead of going to the cafe every single evening, he starts spending 3 nights a week at the local public library. He reads books about personal development and business management, trying to absorb the wisdom of successful people from around the world. At first, his old friends mock him for reading books and skipping their nightly gatherings at the familiar corner coffee shop. They tell him he is wasting his time and that people like them are destined to remain poor workers forever anyway. It hurts to hear those discouraging words, but Raphael remembers the concrete floor and refuses to let their negativity stop him. He starts attending evening classes to learn graphic design, hoping to upgrade his skills beyond just operating the heavy printing machines. In these classes, he meets a completely different group of people who are passionate about their careers and hungry for success. These new acquaintances talk about creative ideas, future projects, and exciting opportunities instead of complaining about their bosses and low salaries. Raphael feels like a seed that has finally been planted in rich, fertile soil where it can absorb water and sunlight. He begins to adopt the positive language and proactive habits of his new classmates, naturally elevating his own standards of excellence. Slowly he fills the 5 chairs in his life with mentors, driven peers, and individuals who inspire him to become better. Whenever he faces a difficult challenge, his new circle encourages him to push through instead of telling him to just quit. Months pass by and the incredible transformation within Raphael becomes visible, not just in his mindset, but in his professional life. He starts applying his new graphic design skills at the printing shop, suggesting creative improvements to the manager of the store. Impressed by his sudden initiative and valuable new skills, the owner promotes him to a senior position within the design department. Exactly 6 months after his conversation with Barros, Raphael sees his monthly income increase by a staggering 40%, almost overnight. But the extra money is only a small part of his victory, because the true reward is finding a life purpose. He finally feels alive and excited to wake up every morning, knowing he is moving forward towards a much brighter future. He occasionally meets his old friends for a quick coffee, but he no longer lets their toxic complaining affect his mood. He tries to share his newfound knowledge with them, hoping they might also want to escape the concrete floor of mediocrity. Unfortunately, they just laugh off his advice and continue to blame the universe for their lack of success and personal growth. Raphael realizes that you cannot force a seed to grow if it stubbornly refuses to leave the cold, hard, concrete surface. He accepts that true friends should celebrate your growth and evolve with you rather than trying to pull you back down. Those who constantly hold you back out of jealousy or fear are not the people who truly care about your happiness. The 5 chairs philosophy is a harsh but necessary lesson about protecting your energy and carefully curating your immediate social environment. If you want to become wealthy, you must surround yourself with people who understand money and talk about building real assets. If you want to become healthy, you need to spend time with individuals who prioritize fitness and eat highly nutritious food. If you want to be happy, you must distance yourself from chronic complainers who drain your spirit and ruin your day. Take a moment today to carefully examine the 5 people who currently occupy the most important chairs in your own life. Are they watering your roots and helping you grow, or are they keeping you stuck on a barren floor of concrete? Changing your circle is never an easy process because it often requires leaving behind people you have known for many years. However, it is the fastest and most effective way to completely rewire your brain and change the trajectory of your destiny. Remember that your potential is absolutely limitless, but it requires the right soil to truly blossom into something beautiful and magnificent. Do not be afraid to seek out mentors, join new communities, and actively invite inspiring individuals to sit at your table. As Jim Rohn wisely said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most of your time with. Choose your company very wisely because the people around you today will absolutely determine the person you become in the future. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey of self-discovery and personal growth here on our educational video channel. We hope you enjoyed this true life lesson story, and we look forward to seeing you again in our next video.